I'm Erik with TMC, and I'm here at Interop in Las Vegas. I'm here with Sarah Fender, who is Phone Factor's Vice President of Marketing. Welcome, Sarah.
Great, thanks. Glad to be here.
So you were just telling me off camera that that one of the things that Phone Factor does that's a little bit different from what other people are doing in terms of authentication is making use of something that people already have, and that's their phone.
Exactly.
Can you tell me a little more about that?
Sure. So instead of using a security device like an RSA security token or certificate or key fob or any number of other methods to authenticate a user, we just leverage something the user already has, their phone. So when they log into their corporate network, their VPN, their Outlook web access, their online bank account, they enter their username and password just like they do today, and instantly they get a call. They just answer the call and press pound or enter a PIN number to authenticate. So it's easy. There's nothing to deploy to end users, nothing for end users to install on their computers or their phones. Works with any phone, a landline or a mobile.
It's very interesting. What are some of the, you mentioned a couple of potential use scenarios. What are some of the more interesting ones that you've seen or that you've imagined?
So the most common one is probably VPN access. So that's actually the one that we encounter most of the time, and may not be the most sexy implementation of our solution, but these guys really are needing to add this additional layer of security for compliance reasons, and really just, I think we're all becoming aware that with phishing and network attacks, that passwords alone are just not enough to secure access to your network. So that's kind of the most common use case, but really, because Phone Factor doesn't require a device to carry, it can be used in environments where tokens really could never have been a good fit. So online banking or large consumer applications. Really you could even use Phone Factor at a retail store. So if you do a transaction, you buy something for over a set amount, maybe you would get the authentication call to confirm that particular transaction, even in the retail store. So
how is something like this deployed?
So it depends a little bit on if we're talking about kind of a corporate implementation or an online banking sort of application. So in any enterprise implementation, there's a little piece of software that's installed within the network. It just listens for authentication requests to come in and then communicates with our data centers that actually do the calling. And so very easy and quick. In the web environment, we have an API that works in a similar way. So it just sends out a request to our data centers to do the calling.
Are there any kind of security concerns in terms of, obviously we're talking about security overall here, but with those calls being intercepted, especially if you're talking about with a mobile phone?
Yeah, so the telephone network is actually very secure. It's been around and people have invested a lot in protecting that network. But what's most important about a second factor of authentication is that it's just that. So when you layer, multiple methods on top of each other, an attacker has to compromise each of those different mechanisms in order to gain access. And really the phone network adds a unique added layer of security. We call it out of band. So, the user's logging in, let's say, to their PC or via their PC, putting in their username and password. If that computer is compromised, any additional authentication they're doing through that same channel is also compromised. So with Phone Factor, the telephone call is completely out of band. So it's happening in a completely separate network, the telephone network. And so the chance that both of those networks could be compromised simultaneously is somebody that's trying that hard to get access is probably going to find a way to do it. So it's actually more secure in that it is through that telephone network.
And if that happens, then we've got a bigger problem anyway.
That's a separate sort of an issue.
You're also telling me about you guys made an announcement about 3 or 4 weeks ago. What can you tell me about that?
So we released a new feature that we're calling transaction verification. So typically we see Phone Factor used to secure a login. That's kind of the most common use case. But some of the more sophisticated attacks we're seeing out there are are taking advantage of that authenticated session. So you're logged in and you're authenticated into that network. And so once you're doing that, they're kind of getting in the middle of your transactions, and instead of transferring, you intend to transfer X amount from one account to another, and they're diverting that into their account, let's say. So with transaction verification, details about the transaction are actually communicated during the authentication call. So I'm doing a wire transfer, let's say, in my online banking account, and I get the call and it says, do you want to transfer $500 from account 101 to account 102? So I can actually verify that specific transaction, not just a generic login process or something like that. So even if someone is kind of in the middle of me and my banking session, my transactions are still secure.
How do you keep abreast of the new ways that people look to infiltrate networks?
So we certainly invest a lot of time and energy in doing that. What's a little bit unique about phone factors, it sort of gets to the root issue, which is username and password security. So there are all of these attacks out there, phishing and farming and all of these things, and really what they're trying to do is to get access to your password.
Right.
And so what we're doing is, regardless of what attack mechanism they're using to gain access to your password, we're protecting that password by adding this additional layer of security. So we certainly are keeping an eye on the landscape, but at the end of the day, we're securing sort of that most valuable piece of information that everyone's out there, trying to get access to. So even if your password is compromised, your account is still secure.
And again, the neat thing is that you're doing it now using a device that we've all got with us. I've got one. We've all got one here at the show, I imagine. Is our phones, right?
Absolutely.
We've been chatting here at Interop in Las Vegas with Phone Factor's Sarah Fender. Thanks for joining us, Sarah.
You bet. Thank you.